Welcome back to the Cosas Verdes show. Hope everybody's having a good Thursday. A bunch of nothing mostly during the day, and traditional markets decided to end the day closing above the daily 10, that white line I've been focused on. It smells fishy though. Smells real fishy. So because Bitcoin didn't go anywhere on Thursday, but right at the last 1.5 hours of traditional markets, S&P 500 spiked right up to close above the daily 10, or the white line that I've been talking about. Does it smell fishy? In which that's a end of day attack just to set less sophisticated algos and bots up for thinking to be long, and then it spikes down tomorrow, which happens all the time. An end of day attack, and the next day just spikes right down. Or is this a sign of continuation? Let's go take a look at these charts. Here's Bitcoin Thursday. This is what's happened today. Nothing. Look at S&P 500, go to the US 500 chart, and let's go to the 1 minute chart. And it might help if I put on my daily 10, which is there. And look, so a bunch of, let's see, where did the day start? The day started 25th, 8. The trading day started right about here. And the day closed right about nope, 1 hour out. Right about 4:20-ish. All right, there. And you can see, so this was the whole day. The whole day of S&P 500 inside of this box. So mostly a bunch of nothing. Just back and forth, using my black triangle as resistance, essentially not doing much. Here we go. And what happened at the end of the day, starting right here, the last couple hours, and close the day above that line I've been focused on so much. It feels, so here's how I'm thinking about it. Two situations possible. It's a strong closure and tomorrow's green, and Bitcoin breaks out of that black triangle. Or you could think of it, hey, this shit right here is fishy. It looks like an end of day attack, trying to trick less sophisticated algos before they tank it tomorrow. And it does happen. It happens on EMAs, or whatever's in play as the main immediate resistance, right? And it usually happens the last 1 or 2 hours of the trading day. However, if it is just strong continuation, it also could look like that. So you got to be prepared for both. But the idea, though, in my opinion, that it happened right at the end of the day, I think it smells fishier. And you put it into play that, one of my VIPs just informed me, because I just jumped off a Discord call, informed me that Jerome Powell does speak tomorrow at 10 a.m. So if there is, and when he speaks, there's also always back and forth. So that's the videos I made about, there are 2 ways that the stock market fakes stuff out when he speaks, or there's big economic news, right? Price of the stock market and pretty much all stocks will go, it'll make this shape, or it'll make the inverse this shape, which means fake out up, true directions down, and it closes the day right about where it started, right in the middle. And so if we take this shape here, let me make myself small. If we take this shape here and think tomorrow, as he's speaking at 10 a.m. in the morning, maybe there's a fake out to the upside before he speaks, and 10 minutes after he starts speaking, tank it down and go, and then end the day roughly where you started, but that would mean, though, that this fake out to the upside happens on top of the end of day attack. So it's a fake out, market's closed, continue the fake out, slam it down roughly around 10 a.m., and then around 1 p.m. start moving it back up slowly. Markets close at roughly 4:30 New York, and put it right back in the middle for an ambiguous close of the week and the day, essentially. And so we were just talking about those things on the call that I had right before here. I don't know which one's going to happen personally, but I want you to be ready for it. And I've been focused on this white line right behind me. It did close above, but it could be a fake out. And what seems also fishy to me is that the entire day, so in this blue box behind me, this entire day here, every move up from here to here, Ethereum and Bitcoin also moved up tat for tat, like 1 minute candle for 1 minute candle. And it went down. Those two both went down when S&P 500 went down, candle for candle. But what stopped happening right here? What do you think stopped happening at what might be considered the end of day attack? Crypto didn't move. It stopped following it. So it's almost as if the traditional finance folks who link what their bots are doing on traditional markets with crypto, because it's very clearly what's happening. It's undeniable, but it's like they hit the off switch right at this time, right here. It's literally an off switch. It might literally be that. I'm serious. And so what does that mean in terms of the two options I just talked about? Is this going to get continuation tomorrow? Because it is a strong closure. Or the idea that it's happened clearly at an end of day attack, does the idea that the off switch happened here, does that increase the chance that this is a fake out? Because if they're going to slam it down tomorrow, well, maybe they didn't want to keep buying crypto because they already have all the shorts, they want for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of the major altcoins they're pumping up into their shorts, like Atom. And so, they in that case, they wouldn't want crypto to spike up with this, and they wouldn't want a crypto to spike up tomorrow's morning's fake out in traditional markets. If it does fake out to the upside, they wouldn't want that to happen unless during the night Ethereum and Bitcoin float down and then spike up at morning open. If I had to guess, with all this put together, I would say that under the conditions, traditional markets do spike up tomorrow, if that were the case. So I'm not guessing that's the case, okay? If that happens, you'll be able to see it in this chart, right? If that happens, I would guess that if crypto stays relatively strong and doesn't go anywhere overnight, I think that they just won't do anything special during the fake out. But if you wake up in the morning trying to prepare yourself for upside fake out, and you have seen that crypto has done something like this, soft, and it seems like a nice little slope, and it's headed down non-aggressively overnight, I would say in that case, then crypto will participate in the spike up if there's a fake out to the upside, because in theory, the off switch was hit because they don't want to mess up the shorts they already have. And so the spike up tomorrow would not mess up their shorts as long as crypto tanked down, or not tanked, floated down overnight. And then it just gets close to where they are, maybe add to their shorts, right? Get more people bullish, and then slam it down. I think that's, if I had to guess, so now I'll make my guesses. I do think that it will be an upside fake out. I'm thinking that this was an end of day attack, and sometime tomorrow it'll go down. That I am making that guess. Whether or not traditional markets spike up at the beginning of the day or not, I don't know. But if I do see, so in that regard though, if I do see crypto has floated down, then I will be on guard for the spike up in the morning. Is that making sense? So in general, I am more bearish. I think the traditional markets over the rest of August into early September, I think they can continue a bounce. But remember, Bitcoin is hanging out inside of a black triangle, and it can't stay there for long because it fell out of a trading channel And when you do that and you bump your head on it from below, when you do that and you bump your, so trading channel fell out, rejection, rejection. When you do this, it's very clearly you're going to fall out. That's just how it works. It works on Ethereum, works on almost all of altcoins, even though Atom recently did this and it spiked all the way up to the to the bottom of the point of control perfectly on the Atom chart. But Bitcoin and Ethereum, typically when you fall out, use it as resistance, you're getting ready to drop. So and I've covered this in some of my recent, food for thought videos and Bitcoin non-live videos. With this black triangle on Bitcoin, so even though I think S&P will very likely get a decent size bounce over the next 2 to 3 weeks, Bitcoin won't be able to participate unless it happens sooner than later because of this. And if this falls out as the traditional markets continue going sideways, yes, the lower target, we already know what we have a damn good idea of what it's going to hit. It's going to hit the origin line behind me with a very, very high likelihood, or it could go as low as filling the gap at 18.4. It could go that far. 18.4 or about 19.8 now. I was saying 19.7, but that's if it fell out earlier. So this is ascending. So for every day or two that it doesn't fall, this number is going to be higher, right? So if I walk this up, you see how the number's getting higher, boom, 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 boom. All right. And so it's either going to hit 19.8 falling out of that black triangle. And if that happens, so this is Bitcoin chart on a clean chart, origin lines, origin line, origin line. And for people who don't follow me very much, might be on here. Origin line I'll zoom out to show you what origin lines is, and you'll be like, damn, I'm surprised no one else in crypto has this, because it's so simple and it's really pretty. But and I'll show you that in a second. But if Bitcoin does fall out of that black triangle that you saw on the other chart and hits this, and then S&P goes up, crypto's going to rally up, and it's probably going to take out this high barely, and then come back down. So it'd probably want to take out this high, and then potentially go something like this. So it would still rally with the stock market, but it would fall first, and altcoins would fall harder on a percentage basis, most likely, because right now altcoins are sucking all the money that's going into crypto. Stablecoin dominance is steadily going down, and Bitcoin's doing nothing. People are buying altcoins right now, not Bitcoin. And so if Bitcoin drops, all those people buying are going to panic sell, and the percentage drop on altcoins, since they are going up higher anyway, the drop's going to be drastically bigger than on Bitcoin. Drastically, like way bigger. Probably more than double, even your big layer ones, outside of Ethereum, not Ethereum. I don't consider Ethereum an altcoin. And that is all that I'm thinking about. So tomorrow, Friday, the August 26th, again, watch out for a fake out to the upside. And Jerome Powell speaks at 10 a.m. And I can't stress this enough. If you're an individual, so actually, I'll say it a different way. I personally have chosen, from experience that wasn't pleasant, not to trade when Jay Powell is speaking. Even though those two shapes that I drew, it really is how it goes, but it's still really hard to play. It's hard to play. And it's so hard to play. So if you're somebody who plays the charts like on a daily basis with leverage or with margin, so on futures or on margin, then just realize tomorrow could really, really mess you up. It could smoke you. And you could have been right. Like, stuff does go up, right? But you get smoked because the fake out was to the downside. If you're somebody who's long, trying to be long, and you're trying to enter positions during tomorrow, you could get smoked to the downside first. And it could be pretty tricky to play. So I cannot stress enough. Tomorrow is a great day to sit back and see the morning ridiculousness. And if you just can't help yourself from trying to play that or guess or go with it, just I would strongly suggest incorporate entry size into your risk management, right? And so if you typically like to short or long with $100, on whatever X leverage, do it with like 30 or 40 because it's going to be hard to play. So you might as well enter a little bit lower, and might as well also, because the day, if there is a fake out, it typically ends where it began or close to it, right? So it's not like you're going to catch a ridiculous move on 50x leverage. So you might as well be doing a little bit lower entry, smaller entry if you just can't help yourself from playing. I can't stress that enough. And if I help just one person not get their butts kicked, like I've had my butt kicked when Jerome Powell speaks, ranting about that is going to be will have made it worth it. So that's what we got for Bitcoin and my warnings for tomorrow morning. All right. Ethereum. Let me see if I can get this set. I'll cover Ethereum real fast. So Ethereum's been really hard to play. It hasn't been in one channel. It's been really strange. Okay. I'm going to zoom way into Ethereum. Watch this. Daily 10. I'll zoom in a second. I know it doesn't look right yet. I'll make it look nice and pretty because I self-promote myself having the prettiest charts in crypto that are easiest to understand than any other source. So I will make it pretty just a sec. I'm thinking though. And then the weekly the weekly 10's in play. Where are you? Huh. Maybe it was on Bitcoin that was in play. Maybe it's on a different chart. All right. And yes, I was talking in second person to my chart. If you've never, talked to your chart or yelled at your screen, then you're not a real person. All right. So Ethereum price has been a little sloppy from a structural analysis standpoint. Even from horizontals or my typical tilted ranges that I use, it's been a little harder. But look behind me right now. This looks like, if it breaks out of one of these, again, this is the daily 89 right here in purple, and they're labeled daily 10. I'll zoom in even more. Hell, I'll go to the 3-minute chart so we can really see this. So having these two EMAs on your Ethereum chart, even though this is not what's in, so daily 89 is not in play for Bitcoin. Daily 89 on Bitcoin's up at like $24,000 or something. Anyway, for Ethereum, having these two as your guide for Friday and leading into the weekend is going to give you such a clear indication, because structurally Ethereum's been sloppy. It's been hard to play. So just think of it like this. If you can get above and use this as support, bullish. If you go below the daily 10 and use it as resistance, so again, I said and as if I were like, on the toilet trying to squeeze it out, and for emphasis, and use it as resistance, then you're bearish. Simple as that. And on top of that, the implications of that are that you would probably get pretty good continuation. I don't think it would be a super small move. So, because I'm not going to guess which way, I'm here to let you know how I find the easiest way to read this chart, and you could be prepared for either direction. And you'll know what price will look like, right? Which I actually haven't drawn this out. So let me draw it out. Because I have a team leader who loves, on Discord, who loves me drawing squiggly lines. So I'll extend the purple. And I'll extend the white. Okay, daily 10. Daily 89. So upwards. So this is why I say and support. Because look, it spiked above. Did it use it as support coming down? No. Spiked above, did it use it as support? No. Spiked above, did it use it as support? It bounced under it So they did not use it as support, lower high, bam, right? And use it as support. So the way it's going to move. So I don't want to tell you, like, I don't have a guess. I'm not guessing. I'm going to show you how it's going to move either way. Right. Hopefully that's valuable. A couple of my other videos where I clearly said I don't know which way it's going to go. Just I described to be one direction, maybe more than the other. I had people say, "No way, that's going to happen." Well, I just said I don't know. I'm just drawing it for you so you know what it'll look like if it happens. That's all I'm doing. I'm trying to help. Stop getting mad. Like fuck, I'm doing this for free. All you got to do is watch my ads and hit the thumbs up button. And hit a subscribe and hit the bell if you are new to the channel, and put on all alerts, because I'm going to help you out on your crypto journey. All right. And especially returning viewers, hitting those like buttons helps the algo so I can continue making videos for you for real. It really does. As stupid as it is for me to have to beg for, I hate doing it, but it does make a big difference. Anyway. All right. So I'm going to draw this out for you. Resistance to the downside. It'll probably hover like this, boom, make lower lows, boom, 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 and then start heading down. Something to that, it won't look like that, boom. So to the downside, something sloppy like this, and to the upside, oh, I can't flip it. I thought I could flip, I guess I can't flip my drawings. That would have been convenient though, because it's going to be literally this inverted, and I could have just dragged it up. So if it goes up, it'll go boom, fake out, lower high, then it'll start, it'll probably go like this and then work its way up like that, boom. So it would look a little different. To the downside, it would probably be, so it would interact with this daily 10 as resistance, but it'll still spike above it, but it won't be able to use it as support. So it'll be like one time not at support, two times not, so this being not used as support, the white line. Maybe I should make this not white and use my brain a little harder and make it red because that's bearish, and make this green because it's bullish. Now we're thinking. All right, I'm trying to make this as easy and simple as possible. So to the downside, what you might see is it starts missing the white line as support, and then after a few of those, it then doesn't even get above it, and that's when you know it's getting ready to fall over. Does that make sense? Daily 10 EMA on Ethereum. And so how I would suspect that it would move to the upside is it'll spike above, miss it as support, so not use it as support, make a lower high, then use it as support, and then start wiggling its way up. Something to this effect is how I would anticipate it happening, right? Now let's look at some targets on where it'll go depending on which one of these happens, because it's going to happen soon. It might happen over the weekend. It might be the weekend instead of Friday. And Friday could be like a big wick up, but it doesn't use this as support, or a big wick down and it doesn't use this as resistance. That's why I said, and, as if I were on the toilet, right? And just because it goes like 5% up doesn't mean shit, especially not tomorrow when we're expecting a fake out. It's what happens when it re-interacts. But that does give you a great signal, because if it spikes above, you know it's going to come back and touch it. If it is actually going up, right? It has to come back, and it will come back and touch it. And same thing, if you see it spike below this daily 10 tomorrow, like it just flies below, you know it's going to come back up to touch it and bump its head on it with an extremely high probability, extremely high. Right? So before we do some targets, just for anybody who doesn't know, I have visual instructions and just the good old Discord invite link in the description section of all my videos if you want to check out the community. Twitter is closest fair to this with the number 2. And the YouTube tiers give you first dibs on questions on these live chats, which most of you here know that. But in addition, it's similar to the Cryptillion tier on Discord, but you do things on your time with recordings and the alerts. But you sacrifice that pro. The sacrifice to that is you don't catch me live and you can't turn your microphone on and ask me questions like the Cryptillions on Discord can. All right. And let's take a look at these levels. I don't need EMAs for levels really yet. All right. So you would have, actually, let's zoom out here a little bit. All right, if things really do get continuation, so remember the purple and white line here. So now you can barely see those, right? Because we're zoomed out. But then, and we're gonna get a bigger move from that. That small area will create a pretty decent sized move. Let me actually get rid of these horizontals. So let's add stuff slowly. And I guess I can just get rid of all this real fast. There we go. OBKB. What we can see here are, oh, I didn't zoom out for origin lines on that Bitcoin portion. All right, so these are origin lines. Goes all the way back to the beginning of price. See that? Boom. All right, so zooming in, where is price related to origin lines? Exactly in the middle. So your larger upside or downside targets, not immediate, right? So if this is the upside target, you might have a pump, a pullback in one. It might take two moves to get there, right? So I'm not talking about the first move. It could take two little pumps to get there. Or downside target, it could take, it could take out this low and pump back up and then finally hit this. So I'm not saying straight there. It could take two moves either way because these are a little farther out. And from a percentage basis from current price, if I could learn how to use Tradingview real fast, that'd be great. 10% to the upside, 16% to the downside. I'll put some prices on it for you. And that's why you subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up. If I could throw that out one more time, I'm trying to break this down as easily as possible. Hell, I'll go to the 15-minute chart so we can see this. Take a look. Oh, it would take a little longer. Let me put this about right here because you can just make a pretty educated guess the how fast it would get there by the slope. So that's an educated guess. Does it have to hit it there? No, it could hit it sooner by, because maybe it breaks above this this horizontal here, which it's it's chilling right now. It's chilling at this horizontal and it breaks above and it goes faster. So, it could hit it a little sooner. It's not dictated to hit it here, right? But I'm just making an educated guess. And then to the downside, I would think it would be maybe a slower move, but I will put it parallel to that. So I'll put it, wrong way. Because crypto price and honestly, traditional market price, S&P, even the indices like S&P 500 index, IXIC, which is for Nasdaq, they like symmetry. So that's why I'm putting a horizontal or a vertical line here, and I'm going to pace this. That'd probably be about the pace it gets there too. Just symmetry. I don't know why, but there's a lot of symmetry in price once you start really looking at it. Show something like this. There we go. And these would be my two price targets. And again, there would be movement and bumps and bounces on the way to either one. I think it would take two swipes to get to either one. And it is possible that, it comes up shy of this, or it comes up shy of this as well because there might be a horizontal in play below it. But these would be my bigger targets. And again, this is all resolution from the purple on top and the white on bottom. This would be the bigger of the move before something like reverting back to the mean or the average before that would happen. It is possible that the effect from breaking out of purple and white from the beginning is a little smaller than this because this 16% move, the breakout of those two EMAs might not propel a 16% move. So let me give you a second option on when you get that signal, that very, very easy signal, where might it stop? I would say it would want to let me zoom out even more. Yeah, so if you can see here, let me zoom in a little bit more. So what I'm looking at is I want to see where does this structure here line with and what does this low here align with. I don't know what it's going to align with because I'm just doing this out on the fly here. But from here to here, that structure could be of interest. So it hits that line how long after? That hits it a week after, my guess. But if and that price, if it hits at the same area that I'm thinking, well, it's pretty damn close. All right, so I don't know if it would be that one. Gosh, honestly, you know what? It looks like if it takes out these lows, it will hit the origin line. So I would say if these are from the resolution of purple and white, if these resolutions of that breakout are too big to the downside, I would guess it's just some, roughly 45-degree angle from this low, something like this, to line with a higher horizontal like here. And if it goes, where are we? Right about there. Yeah, it would probably stop there if this is not the right target. But if you start breaking below this point, especially about 1600, then you are looking at 1400. I don't think there's anything else to stop it. Yeah, if you break 1600, I think you're going straight down here. That's probably where you get a baby, you could get a baby bounce and it looks like it's bouncing and then it crashes through, but it would still go below that point at some time, right? Even if it bounced there first, went below. But so I would slap these levels on my chart. If 1600 is broken, then roughly 1400 is your target. It's gonna go down a lot because there's nothing to stop it. I'm telling you, there's nothing to stop it. There's nothing in play, right? To the upside. So if the resolution of purple and white, if this is too high and the guess is wrong, then let me look. Oh, yeah, this one's more obvious. This one's way more obvious. So it would stop about maybe up to this wick. So I like this wick here, wick down, wick up. So I like it. I like this wick here and that wick right there. I like those two because it kind of encompasses all of this and all of this jazz. But for specificity's sake, I like the wick right there and the wick right there. And that's from May 11th. So let me drag that. And so the resolution to the upside could be kind of small, but also if 1762 is broken to the upside from the resolution of the purple and white, if it goes above the purple, if this is broken above this, it's going to go straight, maybe not, actually, probably almost straight up to 1850 something, 1850, 1860. So if broken, down to 1400. If broken, up to 1850. And don't lose sight of the more immediate what's in play. Actually, I didn't throw on EMAs. It would still go into that. So the immediate play is daily 89 EMA and daily 10 EMA. Boom. You don't have to make yours purple and white, but whatever your 89 is, it's better just to always make it the same color. That's just my color schematics. Usually my 10s are red, but since I'm using the 4-hour 10 a lot, that's red. I've just made my daily 10 white. And so this is the immediate stuff, and it's going to, but remember, on the toilet and support and resistance. Don't get fooled by, oh, it's going up or, oh, it's going down. No, it's got to use this and resistance on the toilet. So purple and white on the toilet, that is the most basic and probably accurate way that you can describe how Ethereum will move over the next 10 days on the toilet. Here we go. All right. I don't know how many longer term viewers I have. Back when I was newer on YouTube and didn't know how to use a mic. Hell, I didn't know how to use this microphone even like 2 weeks ago. I had somebody on Twitter who designed my logo. Actually, he did it for free. He just sent it to me. He's like, dude, use it. He let me know. He educated me on how to use my damn microphone. It's a side-facing microphone, and I was speaking into it like a singing microphone. That's not a condenser mic because I'm used to singing into a microphone. So I thought, okay, speak to it on top. No, you speak to it like you're speaking to the side of a banana, idiot. So that's a horrible reference. Back when I didn't know how to use a microphone. No, from early 2021, like April 2021. If I have anybody on here, when I was conducting, it was on Ethereum Price. I was talking about Ethereum Price, trying to get people a good gauge of how a bull market would look, right? And just because you have a 70% drop doesn't mean the bull market's over. You're probably going to have one more spike up. And I used the reference, the analogy, taking a long poop in Starbucks, so long that you have to camp out for, it was about 230-day period where Ethereum consolidated before making its final push and a half up, right, in 2017. And I used that reference, pooping in Starbucks, and hell, people referred back to that for like over a year. So sorry for the poop jokes, but whatever. But it's really important, and support. So I'm going to start looking at the questions now. All right. And as I do this, I'm going to put on my air conditioner. Once we get into September, since I'm in Indiana, my latitude and altitude in Indiana, it's very flat. So I'm probably 300 feet above sea level at my latitude. But September is the month where I can stop using this I can stop getting hot in my office here. Because it's not inside my house. All right. Oh, we got a lot of questions here today. Okay, wow. So we got a lot of questions here today. All right. Turn down the fan speed so it's not so loud. If I skip your question, it's because you don't have an emblem by your name, which should mean that you're not a part of the either the loyalty tier, which you get an emblem, and or the Cryptillion YouTube tier. I typically have enough tier members on here to take up all of my time. So in advance, people asking questions, I'm just going to apologize in advance. I give first dibs to the folks, and I don't know, I think you can see them as you're typing from your end. I think you can see who has emblems. It's like a little star in a circle, right? Yellow or blue. So just a heads up, I'm going to skip a lot of questions here, and I'm not doing it to make anybody feel bad. All right. Chris Crane. Hey, nice to see you back here. You're on here a lot. I appreciate it. No way you were on. Yeah, I was on time. I hit, even though it took like 1 minute for it to connect the streaming service, but yeah, I was on at 6 o'clock on the dot. I even saw my clock change to 6 o'clock right when I hit start streaming. Yeah, I was on it. Alex videos. This isn't advice, man. We're talking about Pokemon cards. This is not financial advice, bro. All right. Alex videos also asks, is STG still going to $1.20? Let me guess. Yes. I actually don't know. Let me pull up the chart. But if I just had to guess, heads or tails, yes, it's going to $1.20. All right. But let me confirm my guess. Ooh, I would actually. Ooh. Oh. That was a weird higher high. I wouldn't have guessed. Huh. That's a strange higher high. Huh. It didn't even hit anything struck. Maybe I'm missing something. There might be something here that I'm missing. Let me see. So the weekly 21 is in play. All right. So this is a failure pattern at the weekly 21 EMA. I would say it'll hit $1.20 easily if it can get back up here and use it as support, kind of like it did here. If you start seeing this type of stuff again after it failed it down here, I think it will charge up, because this is a weird higher high. And I think it's because a lot of people are seeing the weekly 21 here, which was the resistance point essentially. And then, just sellers, since failure patterns are so common, sellers stepped in assuming it's a failure pattern, it's a rejection failure pattern. And that's very common. And it doesn't have to be an EMA. It could be a rising, ascending line where price of an altcoin or Bitcoin hits it once perfectly. Or actually, let me draw it. Let me do it with my hands. Let's make it could be a horizontal, where a failure pattern, or a rejection failure pattern, where you come up, hit it, take down, boom, and then you go above it and can't use it as support, and then you really race down. That's a rejection failure pattern. And it can happen on EMAs, it can happen on horizontals a lot. It happens on EMAs a lot, and it happens on trend lines that aren't flat, that aren't horizontal. You can also have rejection failure patterns like this. But it just depends what is the resistance in play. It could be any of those three. And a lot of times fibs they always align with one of those three. So yeah, there's almost never a case where there's a fib line. Oh, it's perfect, hit my fib. Yeah, but it's also an obvious horizontal, or it's also an obvious EMA, or it's also an obvious channel line where that's what it's doing there as well. And if there's like, it's in no man's land, but there's only a fib, right? That's not what stops it. But it does help though, because a lot of people are trading fibs and they'll sell there. But it just, anyway, it's fibs in conjunction with one of those three, I'm telling you. Which makes it a more confident trade. All right, so that I would say if just pull up your weekly 21, and if you can get a repeat of this guy, oh, yeah, if you could get a repeat of this, I think it'll move up. But it wouldn't come right. I think it would break this local high. I guess I copied too much of it, sorry. There you go. If it could get above the yellow line, then yes, do something like that. Then yes, I think the target up here, it would be where it's going to go. Let me go out, zoom out. Yeah, somewhere around $1.24 to $1.20 would be the target. All right, but I don't know if it's going to use the 21 as support. So I didn't guess right. I just guessed yes, just being a sarcastic dick. But I don't know. I don't actually but if it's an if then statement, if that happens, then my answer is yes. If that doesn't happen, then my answer is no. So that's where I'd stand. But it's going to be really obvious. It's just a yellow line there, so put it on there. All right, let's take a look. Cool, just caught this live. Could you explain your thinking on alts? And yeah, all right, Sean, that's a good question. All right, so you watched my food for thought video from today. All right, Sean asks, could you go over Bitcoin dominance and how that relate? I think. Let me see the question. Could you? Yeah, Bitcoin dominance and its relationship to altcoins. All right. You actually need a third party, though. So in your question, I would add one thing. Bitcoin dominance, altcoin price action, and Tether dominance. Because Tether dominance is it's like another layer on Bitcoin dominance, right? And usually, yeah, so one won't make the other chart do it, but it's nice to see them together, right? Like, yeah, almost like the shape of a half a heart. Like, why a half a heart? You want both sides. You want both sides. I'm being goofy today, sorry. Poop jokes and Britney Spears or whoever did that. All right, so I think that was after Britney Spears, though. I'm old, I don't know. All right, this is the worst part. This is the worst opening answer ever to a serious question. I'm sorry. Let me bear. All right, now we mean business. I got my serious hat on now. Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance on the 12-hour. No, this is Bitcoin. Wrong one. That's CMAs. Okay. All right. When Bitcoin dominance is going down, it's almost always when alts are going up and Bitcoin is sort of going up to some degree, but alts are going up. And because The reason why that relationship typically exists is because when Bitcoin goes down, especially for an extended period of time, I mean, the period of time of this is, yeah, that's 80 days. So that's 80, like even more than 80 days of down. But so it's a lot of down over there, right? During that, the alts are typically going up, because if Bitcoin were going down and alts were going down too, alts don't outperform Bitcoin, and this chart goes up when Bitcoin goes down, almost always. But at the beginning of bull runs, or when Bitcoin just takes over for a little bit, so it can go up. In either case, Bitcoin can be going up when this Bitcoin dominance chart goes up, or when Bitcoin and all of crypto tanks, this also makes big moves up. Make sense? However, the down moves are restricted. These down moves almost exclusively happen, maybe not on the 1 day, not a 1 day candle, but just over time. When this goes down, that typically means crypto in general is making a move up and Bitcoin is not tanking, and altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. That's all it means. That's all it means. So you can see here, this run, or just this recent, 60 to 90 day channel that we've been in on Bitcoin. So if we go over here to Bitcoin on my channel, this rising channel, the whole time this was rising. So Bitcoin was going up this whole time, right? Go back to Bitcoin dominance. This going down means altcoins went up more on a percentage basis. Alts were hotter. So this was an alt run, not a Bitcoin led run. And honestly, this was an Ethereum led run. So pretty much any Ethereum led run, alts are going to fly, because like a lot of things are connected to it, right? And all your layer twos and all that stuff. And then if a bunch of layer twos connected to Ethereum are going to charge up, well, then just people start buying altcoins in general. It's like a party. It's literally an alt. Yeah, it turns into a mini alt move. And that's it for that part. But I like having the icing on the cake to that question, or to that, is this guy. This helps you know or confirm, some things. So I'm going to zoom out to, this is a longer chart. This is Tether dominance. So so this moves opposite of Bitcoin. If this is down, Bitcoin is up. And what did we just see? Bitcoin's been up for about 60 days. How long, has this been going up? Going down, sorry. 70 days. So that's about right. It's the same as when I went to Bitcoin, the channel, kind of like this channel here, but on Bitcoin price, it was about 65 days long. And this descending stuff is 70 days long, right? That's because people are taking a stable coin and purchasing crypto with it. Therefore, there's less tether, and tether goes down when crypto goes up. And the idea that when you zoom in here, you can use this as a tip on when a rally's done. So let's see here. For example, let me give you a specific example. I'm going to go to a smaller chart like the 1 hour. Right here. Since during this part it was down, you can assume crypto was going up. However, with my lines, I could use this chart to tell, hey, it just hit the bottom of a major zone. This is going to bounce, which means crypto, its move up during this moment, it's done. It's going to have to oscillate down, maybe make higher lows. Maybe the move in general is not over, but it's going to turn around for a certain amount of time, right? So let me show you the exact date. Watch. That was July 20th through July 26th. So what this means is July 20th through 26th, crypto and Bitcoin pivoted from going up, and it went down for a week, for 6 days, before it started going back up again, right? Just opposite of this. But you can anticipate Bitcoin starting to go down because it hit that line. And it acts just like price. It's probably going to bounce. It might not stick its landing, which it didn't at the end, but it did this, higher, low, boom. So let's go to July 20th through 26th to see if crypto at that point was high. It started going low for 6 days, and then after 6 days, it went higher again, right? So let's go to Bitcoin. I hope this doesn't make me a liar. I'm pretty confident in what I'm saying, but I would look really stupid if it's not at all what happened. But mathematically, it just has to be what happened. All right. But I did not double test this. All right. 20th. Okay, what did I say? July 20th. I said July 20th, crypto was high, right? Boom. And it went down for 6 days. Boom. Literally the same days. July 20th. July 26th, exactly. And that USDT chart was about the best signal possible for, hey, this oscillation up is over for a little bit. Or no, the oscillation itself, maybe not the entire, rising channel. It's not going to tank below, but this oscillation up has to cool off. It got it exactly. And if you want to snapshot that chart, that's fine. Hey, let me go back to it. Now that you see it's obviously a good signaler, I have a VIP or two who exclusively, I don't know if exclusively this is the word, but who always in a superlative, like it's among their main indicators, they won't allow themselves to enter a specific type of trade until some signal like this is happening on this chart specifically, right? And I'm going to go to the daily chart. And there you go. That's how I have mine set up. Right there. Booyah. There you go. All right. I'm going to put my hat back the other way. That's a really good question. I hope the air conditioner wasn't too annoying. I forgot that it was on. Sorry. Okay, got a bit late. All right, so yeah, my shorts sucked less. Yeah, shorts for altcoins did not work out. I really did anticipate the Bitcoin dominance to not continue going down because it was at support, but look, it broke into that triangle even more. So it's shorting alts during this. And so back to this same question, but it's tying two questions together now. Given that it dipped deeper into the support zone, let me zoom out so you can see the support. So the support zone here, I still can't see it. Yeah, right there, this support zone. My guess was it was going to bounce from it. Therefore, alts and shorts with the idea Bitcoin looks anemic anyway. Plus, Bitcoin dominance should start rising. Right? It's got a chance to rise and Bitcoin's anemic, which means I thought it had the chance of being one of the situations where all crypto would go down and this would bounce up. Because when Bitcoin goes down, this almost always goes up. Like it's literally every time in a trend. And it just dipped lower, which means alts had another pop up when Bitcoin did nothing. It just sucked more money out of stablecoins and sucked money out of Bitcoin as well. So yeah, the shorts and because it's still in there, I mean, you could still get smoked on trying to short alts right now until you see this chart rising, and then mix that back to Bitcoin dominance, or no, Tether dominance until you get it back above this line, right? Which means if it goes up, Bitcoin's going to fall, and so all alts. So I think alts, as this comes up to get rejected, alts will make a higher low, and then if it gets rejected, this comes down, alts could really turn up, right? So I don't think shorting alts until you can determine, does this line get used as resistance or not? If this line gets used as resistance, and this, if it's used as resistance and this gets rejected, well, alts are going to fly up, so don't be short. If this gets above it and uses it as support, like that, then you know your shorts are going to work. And you also know that Bitcoin dominance will then get out of that triangle at the same time. It will. Like mathematically, it will. Because if this goes up, Bitcoin will go down. And if there, let me say this slowly. If Tether dominance goes up, Bitcoin will go down. And when Bitcoin goes down, Bitcoin dominance will go up. So it's all connected, man. All right, it's all connected. All right. There you go. Yeah, Ethereum Classic got hot. Right there. See it? Where my cursor is? It's one of the bigger bubbles of the whole day. So this is the daily. It's among the top performers for the whole day. Luna Classic just went off today. Why are people fucking buying that stuff? Oh, that's so embarrassing for crypto. A Ponzi scheme, proven Ponzi, like doing the same shit that Chinese real estate was doing. Literally the same thing. But just in a different asset class. Right? Isn't this like Luna version 2.0 or something? Why? And maybe I'm misunderstanding what that is, but if that's what it is, like, oh my God, there are a lot of idiots. Like, why would you do that? Okay. Wow. Now, it doesn't mean you can't trade it to the upside and make money from it, which would mean you're a part of the people making it go up, but it's fine to try to make money from it. And that might be why it's going up. But is anybody at all just like buying it from a non-trading perspective? Just unbelievable. Okay. Do you think it's, I'm in an Atom short. So, but I'm, okay. This is more of a Discord type question. All right. So when I start recording this snippet of Atom, I'm not going to address your question directly, but you can infer it. Cause I don't want to be on recording or streaming, giving financial advice. So, but you'll be able to make your own or take your own judgments off of the basic information I'm about ready to give you and levels I give you. But I'm not going to make suggestions on shorting or not, right? But you can make your own judgment from what I'm about to show you. Okay. All right. So I got a question. Is it a bad idea to short Atom given that Tether dominance is not strong, which means alts can continue going up, and Bitcoin dominance is going down, which means more money's flowing into alts, but Atom's overheated. So, which is contrary to the first two things. Like the first two things give permission for Atom to go up higher still in the charts. But it looks overheated on the price chart. So is it a bad idea? Well, let's go look at it and I'll let you decide for yourself, because we only talk about Pokemon cards here, and we're going to go not give financial advice, but I'll let you decide for yourself. So let's go take a look at Atom. This is June 18th. Atom is in this channel for 75 days. It fully exited the channel for the first time. So these wicks below don't count, right? It fully exited and used it as resistance, made a lower low. So let's zoom into this part, actually. It exited, used it as resistance, made a lower low, then was able to make a higher low and jump back in. And then it used the point of control, which is the middle portion of this channel. It peaked its head, made a lower low, again, so it was a failure rejection pattern as opposed to, so if this were inverse, rejection then failure, but so which is actually more common, but this was maybe it's not more common. This is pretty common. A failure rejection pattern on the bottom of the point of control. So, not giving financial advice, Atom Pokemon cards. If I'm trying to get into an Atom short, or just trying to buy something long, I don't like to chase candles. So when I'm buying, if this is already up here, so let's say I want to be long, right? And Adam just did this, just got a big green candle. I don't like entering longs after that. That's called chasing green candles. If I'm long or just buying it, like I'm buying on spot, which means I bought Atom on Binance, like no leverage, nothing. Like that's also long, right? If you buy on spot, you're just 1x long. I don't like to chase that. Same for shorts. If I want to be short, but it clearly hit its head on a obvious resistance and did a double pattern on it, failure, rejection, and started its move down, I'm not going to chase that red can. I'm not going to chase these red candles for a short. I would rather look for the hopes. I would hope for a lower high on a trend line. Again, not financial advice. I'm talking about myself. And say, okay, I don't want to chase this. If it comes up here, then I will begin considering trying it. And if that trend line is actually also kind of close to the same resistance, then just realize that, we have a potential fake out on a Friday morning. So just realize it could go in this triangle here. It could wick a little bit above that trend line and just hit the orange line one more time because of what traditional markets might do. So I would have a zone of interest. I would develop, when am I interested, given that I'm not interested in chasing these candles? Because if I shorted now, it's too much of a risk that it goes boom, the obvious, it just makes a lower high on this trend line. And then if I'm on, let's say 5x leverage, I am now 17% down on that trade, just from it doing something freaking obvious. Does that make sense? And that is how I would play Atom. So my Atom short right now, I entered on this one. I missed this, I missed that one, and I got it on this one. I entered here, which actually I need to put my stops at about break even right now. So any VIPs watching. For that alert, that now's the time. So for my Discord community, when we're in a position and it's going the right direction, I let them know, hey, now's the time to move your stops closer to break even or at break even. Even though yesterday on SHIB, we're long in SHIB, it spiked up. I let them know now it's time to move your stops to break even. And that's exactly when it came down to touch exactly where we entered and then took off freaking 10%. Fucking assholes. Dang it. Yeah, longing in this choppy market's way harder than shorting. Anyway, but on top of that, you can take that for advice as well. I mean, shorting in this market is so much easier. It's hard to get in long positions. It's real hard. I mean, honestly, it's almost like breakout trading is the only way, really, it's like the only clear way to take on longs, but I don't like to trade breakouts, so I haven't had much luck with longs. So anyway, those are my thoughts on Atom with a little bit of blabbing on top. Hopefully that was helpful. And hopefully you agree that my charts are the prettiest and clearest in all of crypto YouTube. All right. But most of it's because it's not because of me. My Discord community teaches me a lot. One person in particular, pretty much taught me, like, at this point, half the shit I know on TradingView. Really. Without being a community leader, my charts would not be this pretty, and I would be a YouTuber, like, with the average looking shitty chart, which is about everybody. All right. And just, especially for folks newer to crypto who, like, they were retail, they want to convert themselves from retail to, like, okay, I actually want to understand price now. I don't just want to look at it on CoinMarketCap, right? Or listen to the news YouTubers who just look at price for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. I that's not actual analysis. I want to understand it. For those people wanting to make that conversion, just prettier charts help. And I think, so hopefully my channel helps people who are trying to make that conversion. Or influences people to make the conversion. Like, oh shit, that makes fucking sense. Like, I mean, doesn't it just make, look at this. Like, how could you not look at this? Even as somebody who is a retail, like, you think Shiba Inu is going to hit like $5, right? You're that person. even if you're that person, wouldn't you see this and say, hey, that makes sense? Like that, yeah, it just makes sense, right? Maybe not if you think SHIB's going to hit $5. Those people are a special breed. But outside of those people, like even people who pour their milk before their cereal, I think they would look at this and say it makes sense, right? All right, anyway. All right, can't remember doing a UFO. You can't remember you doing a read of UFO. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody. Adam, boom, boom, boom. Lepo Poison. Okay, so La Poison, community member asks, doing UFO, great potential, daily chart looks interesting, UFO. Okay, so not really a question, just is he or she is asking, put another pair of eyes, what do you think about UFO? All right. That's really aggressive. That's a big fucking ass move. Man, that got hot. That looks like a 3x. Shit. Whoa, that's a friggin' 8x. Oh my God. That is something else. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That might have had the biggest run off the Bitcoin 17.5 lows more than anything in all of crypto. I don't even know if Chrono is it Chronotech? Yeah, I don't even know if Time had a bigger one. Yeah, it did. That's 9. That one went 9.25x. So yeah, Time has the best run off of the Bitcoin lows than anything that I can find. All right, so let me go back to UFO. But this might be the second or third biggest in all of crypto off of Bitcoin 17.5 lows. This is wild. Did it hit this wick exactly? And then here, let me zoom in here. Watch. So this is the importance of looking at wicks. Watch. I'm telling you, they work. Let me see if it got it exactly. Oh, it came up shy. Huh, I'm surprised it didn't just go ahead and hit it. Really close. I mean, I wouldn't jump into it. Nah, I wouldn't do it. It's still way too... Dude, it just went 7 or 8x. Like, I don't know. I would... Now, trading this, if you can trade it, yeah, I would be trading this up and down because after this volatility, right, from a trader, not an investor standpoint, okay, so trading cap, right, investor cap. I don't even need my... I don't even need these. So, trader cap, investor cap. Trader cap, hell yeah. Because it was so hot, its moves ups and up. I kind of like these on better. It's raining outside real hard. This hot move up is going to mean as it's falling, even if it keeps falling, it's going to have big moves up for lower highs. That's because this is a lot of space, right? So all the play stuff that it's going to do, even if it keeps going down, since there's so much play room, it's going to create a bunch of opportunity for plays to the upside and the downside. So from a trading perspective, this might be among like the best things to be trading. If it's on futures, I don't know if it is. I guess this would be good. But from an investor standpoint, when do you DCA? I think I would wait months, like at least a month to see where this is at. I wouldn't touch it from an investor standpoint. No way. It's too high of a chance it'll take out these lows on by February of 2023. Like, I would not think the bear market for this coin's over. Therefore, I'm going to hit it on a higher low, over here somewhere at support down here. I'm buying here. No way. No way from an investor standpoint would I do that. From a trading perspective, hell yeah. But not an investor standpoint. Hell no. All right. So hell yes, hell no is my answer. I don't know why I'm being goofy today, but whatever. It's one of those goofy days. All right, here we go. Okay. Staking tomorrow. Okay. Let's see what's going on. All right, now I'll get to non-community questions. Only for a few minutes because it's past 7 and my wife's already walked in here once, which hopefully means there's freaking food ready. No, that's not true. It means she wants me to cook food. I married a Mexican woman who doesn't like to cook. Had she told me this before we got married, before I asked her to marry me, I mean, like my situation might be a little different. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Yes, she probably came in here because she's hungry. I bet that's exactly what it. No way she, no way she was gonna come tell me, hey, the food's ready. I wish. All right. Yeah. All right. Who's they? All right. Jose and digital. I don't know what you're talking about. Jose's question. So, do you see Bitcoin going to 15K? Yeah. Before February of 2023. Yeah, I think Bitcoin will take out the 17.5 lows. Yes. And yeah, it'll go down there. I don't know when. It could rally. Honestly, it really could rally up to 30K first. It still could. It's very unlikely at this point because it fell out of that channel. A rally to 23.2, which is the monthly. You have 2 monthly candles there. And it's the breakdown point of Bitcoin's recent breakdown move, like where it just tanked down. I think it could. I think that's realistic, 23.2. But still, 28 to 30K is on the table, which would mean it won't be below 17.5 until like December, January, February, right? So I don't know the timing on it, but yeah, I do think so. By February of 2023, because I think it's 100%. There might be one exception. I'm looking at the Bitcoin chart, 12 and a half, 13 years history in my head. There might have been 1 year. There might be one exception. But let's just say 100%, maybe minus one exception, that every new year, the price of Bitcoin drops. Is it 33%? Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's 33% within a window around the new year. So if this is New Year's, it either does it in a window before it, so Christmas, Thanksgiving, around there, or it does it in a window after January 1st. And I think the window is 45 days on both sides for a full 90-day period, with January 1st in the middle. And there might be one exception where it fell outside of that 90-day pocket by a good degree, so it still fell, but it didn't fall within that, like, that target. It wasn't the new year that caused the fall, essentially, right? So I think there was one exception, but every time, so 12 out of 13 years, it's happened. That's why I'm targeting February. Because most of them happen after or right at the new year. It's just called the New Year sell-off. Because if you look at the chart, it's true. Like, it just happens. It's way more likely than not to happen. So that's why, in my mind, I'm targeting roughly January, February 2023 for, like, by then, Bitcoin will have taken out the lows. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. Where do you see Hex? Well, I drew this Hex chart, what I'm about to show you, when it was near its top. Okay? So what I'm about to show you, I drew a long time ago. And I posted on Twitter. So if there's a way to search Costas Verdes Hex on Twitter, you'll be able to confirm what I'm about ready to show you and my statement behind it. If I can find the right damn chart. And I personally am interested in buying Hex this bear market. I don't own any right now. Shame on me. I still am kind of pissed at that. I was so close to pulling the trigger. Like, just like putting $1,000 in before it come out, and I was gonna stake it for the. Well, actually, had I bought it, I wouldn't have been able to sell the top because I would have done it for the 555. I would have done it for the 5,555 days of the quadruple 5 or something. I probably just would have done it. But anyway, but still, I still regret not doing it. Hex USD, I think it's on Uniswap. Is the Hex? It's here. USD coin. Maybe this. Nope. There it is. All right, I drew this chart as Hex was, I don't know, I think it was actually about here, because because that's when the Hexicans were still, Richard had all of his posse, like, really doing heavy marketing, right, throughout all this. And they were still doing it at this point. I was like, no, this is a lower high. This is a lower high. And that's when I drew these boxes. And I said, because I was very, very confident this would be a lower high of some sort, that's when I drew these boxes. And I was just like, I was trying to, like, trying to essentially help people not think it's going to keep going up. Like, even though when you're bullish on something, and I post shit like that, most people are going to think I'm an idiot, right? Because it looks unbelievable and you're bullish and screw this guy. Like, when I drew the lower targets for Veracity and MTV and for the class of 2021 people, I bet you didn't like me doing it. But guess what? They all hit. I think Veracity came out a little shy for now, right? Because it was so much lower. That meant like a 90% drop. And people don't like that. They want it to go up. So, what's your question? I forgot. Now I'm just like showing off, and he thinks so because Richard Hart said he thinks 2.18. Yeah, 217. It wouldn't be 218, it'd be 217. But yes. Yeah, that's a good target. That's a pretty good target. And when he says that, that's probably when he's going to throw some of his money at it to make sure it's true. Because he loves, he loves being right. So, yeah, if that's what he says is going to be a bottom, then I would front run it. I'd at 0.022. I wouldn't go all in on that part, but I would probably front run it. Yeah. However, it could hit here or it could hit 217. Actually, I think I have my line closer to 208 as opposed to, but it's pretty damn close to what he said. It's extremely close. So 210, roughly 210 or 14. 143 or 210 are my next targets. Yeah, because it already went below this support here and it's making a lower high. And so on its way back down, it's not going to use it as support. It will come down to this next line. So that's a good guess. And for him, since he said it, it might not actually be a guess. Because that super huge, like, let's just call it whales, even in the stock market, they are the only people who do know where a bottom is. Because they know that's where they're going to market buy, and they will end it. The only people who can sell a top or buy a bottom are whales. That's it. All right. And he was calling 64K before it happened, and he had a lot of Bitcoin. Probably where he dumped a lot of Bitcoin, which is a great sell. Great sell. And he probably shorted hard and made a shit ton of money from it. Absolutely. Yeah, I bet he made so much money if that were the case. I don't follow him as intimately as I did in 2017 through 2019. Saw his transition from Bitcoin to justifying Ethereum, then talking about Hex. That's when I watched him and when he had that transition. But anyway, yeah, I'd imagine he both sold Bitcoin hard, market sold at 64. Because that's where he was calling, and he damn sure took on shorts. And I bet he made insane amounts of money. As long as he took profits before the next rally up to 69K. Because 69K would probably stop you out. It wouldn't have liquidated him. But as long as he took profits, he would have made a shit. Any whale who did that would have made a shit ton of money. And that's why, like, honestly, if to make a lot of money, like confidently, like just be a whale, just have hundreds of millions of dollars. You can sell exactly at the point where you've already taken on shorts, and you can move the price down and guarantee that your futures trade is perfect. Like literally. Why do you think people with money? Okay, so just your average multimillionaire or billionaire. Why do you think they like to get into politics? Because the money they have, now they can get inside tips about what Jerome Powell's going to say, what the news is going to be, or, like NVIDIA news, even though that backfired on Pelosi family with the with the chip shortage. I think they didn't see that coming. But the only reason rich people in the United States go into politics is because they're going to use their current money to make a hell of a lot more money. It's similar to what I was talking about. That's the only reason. Why the fuck would a rich person want to get into politics? It's a horrible, like, you're in public display. Maybe egomania is one thing, but I don't think it is. I think it's because they know they're going to be able to take their current money and make it a lot more. Anyway, I'm going on weird rants now, and my wife is probably hungry and wanting me to cook. All right, will you please do your magic on ICP? Yeah, okay, yeah, crypto. And you've been asking, somebody's been asking about ICP a lot, so I guess I'll cover it real fast. All right, I'll stay straight to the point. All right, easy. This is going to be an easy one. It's a very clear if-then scenario. If this low right here cannot hold, so let me put a horizontal at that point. Which it goes, see this wick back here? Look at that. If this does not hold, then ICP will go to this orange line. It will. With like, I promise YouTube I'd never say 90% again, but 89.99 an if-then statement. 89.999% that's accurate. If it uses 604 as resistance, then it's extremely likely to hit this orange line, and the price of that would be a considerable amount lower. It would have a pretty big dive. That's it. That's to the downside. That simple. To the upside, you're going to have double resistance in form of a horizontal meeting with a channel line. So your limitation to upside move, if it can hold this and zoom up, your limitation to the upside where it would definitely turn around at that point. Would it tank and crash? No, I'm not saying that, but it's not getting over there on the first try. Like with it, also, I wouldn't say 89.99 for that one. I would say with a like 70-80% likelihood on its first attempt to get up here, if it were to get up here, it's not going to get above on the first try. So that's the upside. That's as high as it'll go in one swoop. To the upside, to the downside, if this is broken and used as resistance, you will hit this with an extremely high likelihood. That's it. Yeah, ICP, that's an easier chart to read. Okay. What's a good price to start buying? Okay. Anytime it hits the bottom of this, so okay, here, let me put myself over here. All right. Go use maybe even the daily chart. I'm not going to give you one price level. I'll say this. Go to your daily chart on ICP and make lines that look like mine starting right on June 24th. Just put in, if you want to be serious about, trying to pick this up, do this work. It's not much work. Okay? Just go to the daily chart specifically. Just try to make your chart, try to make lines that look like mine that start roughly in late June. Oh no, that's 2021. Sorry. Whoop. That's been on this channel for a long time. This is a big channel. All right. So yeah, so daily chart. And make it look like this. Step 1. Step 2 to my answer to your question, what's a good time to buy it? Whenever it hits the bottom line. That's it. That's when it's a good time to buy. Period. You could also buy someone that hits the second to the bottom line. That's fine too. But between the penultimate to the last line, anytime it does it, it's going to be a good time to buy. Why? Because the chance of you to sell that higher and sell into a rally is very, very, look, it's got a perfect track record, so it's probably going to continue. That's it. It might not be the bottom, but it's going to allow you to be at a gain at least for a reasonable amount of time, so you can determine, hey, do I think the bear market's over or not? If my answer is no, and I bought at the bottom of this channel and it's gone up, how much? Like, it looks like it'd be 20, 30%, something like that. And oh shit, like a 50% move up, but I don't think the bear market's over. You could sell when it hits the bottom of the middle. When it hits in the middle zone after you bought and you don't think the bear market's over, sell it. Pokemon cards only, right? Not financial advice, ICP, Pokemon. And then, if you don't think the bear market's over, when do you think you would buy back? When it hits the bottom line again. That's it. Literally, make it simple. This is following a perfect channel that's over a year long. It's going to follow the rules even stricter because it's a bigger channel. Literally, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, I'm telling you. I almost was starting to phrase the longer and harder it is. But I mean, the longer a channel is, the more strict the rules will be. So I would feel very comfortable with purchases down there if I were trying to, from an investor standpoint, trying to invest into this Pokemon card only, not financial advice. That's what I would do. You can use this information to make your judgments at the best you can. All right, you're welcome. Yeah. It's a beautiful chart. Cardano's also in a year-long one. So, gosh, I mean, even if I don't like this coin, this one would be a good one to trade if it's on futures and it had enough liquidity to get in and out where you wanted to. This is a very precise chart. Like, Ethereum's been tough as shit to trade recently. This looks like a freaking piece of cake. Honestly, I might start trading this. This is really, really precise. And I don't even want to accumulate it, but I might trade it on, small amount of leverage, like 2, 3, whatever, maybe even 5, because it's very precise. All right. I got to go most likely cook my wife food. She's probably hangry at this point, and I might not make it. So I'm going to take my own chancla, and I will defend myself from her throwing her chancla at me. I'll walk in my house doing that. So see here. Today's Thursday. We'll see you back next Tuesday, same time, same place, 6 p.m. New York.